Most people shun at having a job that entails risk, filth or grime. For every job we stigmatise, there are always others who day in day out work through this to put food on their table and keep our society clean and safe. Everyone takes the disposal of waste for granted, but what happens if the system breaks down? This is the life of the sewage worker.
My name is Richard Shotton. I've been in the sewage industry since the 1980s. I'm now retiring, I hope. On the sewage side, I know people pull their nose up at it, but you get used to it after a while. You don't really smell it. And when you've been doing it since 1980, you don't even think about it. Honestly, a lot of people just they don't like it, but we've got to put up with it. So it's not a problem really. No, getting splashed is the worst part about it. If you do get splashed.
Rodents, maggots and infestations are all involved in this job, so it's no wonder it would put people off having to work in this sector. Gerard Wiltdale showed us what life is like as a professional pest controller.
Just had a call from a lady who's found some rat droppings in the kitchen drawers, so she was rather distressed and wants somebody out straight away. So we have to see what the position is really. I mean, normally we would set traps and place poison baits. I mean, it's unlikely to be running around when we get there. But that's about the most we can do really, and hopefully try and catch it in a snap trap.
Dr. Hobson has treated all types of ailments on our feet, from corns to ingrowing toenails, and showed us what's actually involved as a chiropodist.
I could have done this when I first left school, and nothing under the sun would have induced me to mess around with people's smelly old feet. I went into industry and had 13 years in textiles, got to the top of my own particular tree, got bored, got fed up with working for somebody else, and one night over a pint he says to me, he says, "Well, why don't you come in with me?" It's a decision that I've never ever regretted, because from the first day that I started in evening college, the first pair of feet I got in my hands, it just felt right. Causes a few laughs occasionally, but no. Most people will say, "Well, I don't know how you can do it." But it is fascinating. People tend to think of feet as being smelly things. They're not. Feet don't smell. Feet sweat, and the sweat soaks into shoes. If that starts to evaporate in the shoe, the bacteria breaks the sweat down, and it's the gas that they give off which transfers back onto feet and causes feet to have that unpleasant dog curl up and kick your legs up in the air odour.
Shotton Transport send out Robin Miller to clear a blocked drain.
Well, I'm actually the fitter at the garage.
Okay.
And I'm the managing director, non-exec. Well, actually, half the problems come through neglect of the owners of the houses, especially the one with septic tanks who don't get them regularly emptied. But once you open the drain up, that's when you know people who have got good stomachs and bad stomachs. Very dirty, very smelly, which you will find out. A lot of folk will turn their nose up at it.
Yeah.
So we'll just wait and see what's in there. That's the wagon away by. We'll just have to wait and see what actually comes when we get down there.
Yeah.
Some jobs take 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Other jobs you end up having to dig the pipes out because they're broken. Now this is Hostile Bank. Now we'll have to find 29. There too, so should be down the bottom, I would think so. There's 19, 27, 29, this is it.
Gerard arrives at Mrs. Kane's house to investigate the problem.
No, it's in the second, on the bottom drawer. A rat, I think, in the bottom drawer where I keep my towels and things like that. It had actually eaten through the towel, and that's how I realised that it did have something. And then my neighbour came and had a look and said that it looked like like rat droppings. So just hope they get it. Oh, but them droppings weren't there.
When did you first notice them?
Today. I'd have to move. I'd have to move. I could not stay in. If there was a rat, if it ran or came out, I'd be absolutely horrified. Scouring out, I've got domesters, I've got Dettol, I've got sterilising tablets for babies' bottles, because then I know that'll be clean. I couldn't put a thing in them drawers if they weren't done properly.
What would you do if you actually saw the rat now?
They would be burying us on Friday. Mark my words, would they?
Yeah, where those pipes come through the floor, certainly could have get a rat there. So somehow, you know, they've got access under the floor and the subfloor void. That could be a drain-related problem, which will have to be further investigated. The main priority is to deal with the current, you know, deal with whatever's running around and sort that out.
The thing is with clubfoot, frequently if they start treating it within the first 24 hours of birth, then they can prevent a lot of the surgery. Actually, feet like that are interesting. They're much more interesting than straightforward things. You know, there's nothing at all boring about them like those. It's unfortunate for the person who got them. It can create lots and lots of problems for them. But they're still interesting. The only thing to cut toenails with is something like that. It's alright using scissors, but scissors have a completely different action and they actually lift the toenail and they can hurt. You can just... Those aren't particularly long, so you can... biggest problem you've got there is maybe that was marginally short in the corner. I've been very, very fortunate. Right from the word go, I've enjoyed every minute of this job. And even though I'm retiring, I still enjoy every minute of it now. There's nothing I can say that I dislike. I like people. It's always something to learn from people. No 2 feet alike, let alone no 2 people, no 2 feet alike. It's the skin actually thickening up. Because of the way he walks, most of the weight's coming, hitting on those 2 points. So the skin's thickening up to try and protect the bones underneath. This one's quite swollen because there's a little bit of fluid in there, which again is helping to cushion the joint there. There's not sufficient damage taking place to actually cause a corn there, but not far off. And as he gets older, if he's going to get a corn on this foot at all, it will be there, right there, exactly where I'm touching.